Carlos went out that afternoon after changing into some older clothes that were slightly smaller. He hung out at the mall looking at the latest video games to the coolest new music CDs. It wasn't until Carlos was walking into the clothing store checking out latest fashion did he notice something was wrong with his own clothes. His shorts kept slipping and his shirt now looked strangely big on him. Carlos quickly grabbed some clothes off the rack and went to the changing room. The lady at the desk gave him a little trouble, but all the same he was allowed into a changing room. Carlos figured he could wear the smaller clothes just under his larger clothes. Then come back later and pay for the clothes he would take. His excuse would be he left the new clothes in the changing room to the lady at the desk if she spotted him. Carlos was just about to throw on his old clothes when a knock came at the door and familiar voice spoke. "Carlos, honey. Step out here and let me have a look at you." His mother's voice came from the other side of door. Carlos was too stunned to move nor to stop the door from opening. Luckily for Carlos he was dressed now. "Why is Mom here and how did she know I was in here?" Carlos asked himself for a brief second. He had come alone to the mall and was sure no one saw him enter the changing room except for the lady at the desk. "Come on out," his mother said a little more harshly. Carlos was confused and puzzled for a second more on why his mother looked so tall. His question was answered when he looked back in the mirror. He was smaller and his face was different. It looked more childlike and rounded than normal. "I'm still getting younger," Carlos said to himself very quietly as his mother was checking his waistline of his new shorts. "A bit big for you, but I think you'll grow into them when you start middle school," Mrs. Cagle said happily looking down at her growing boy. Carlos was thinking fast. He had to get home and eat the other half of the candy bar. It was his only hope now. At the rate he was going it wouldn't be long before he would be too young to start elementary school. "Mom, can we go now?" Carlos said looking with a small wondering look at his mother why she didn't notice he was little younger than just seconds before. "Okay, just change back into your old clothes and we will leave now," Mrs. Cagle said with slight tired tone. Carlos turned back to see the clothes he wore just minutes before were not there. Instead was a much older outfit he swore was in a box in the basement back home. Not wasting time thinking over how strange the changes were, he quickly changed after shutting the door. The car ride home seemed to take forever. Checking his reflection, he saw he was still getting younger. Carlos figured he was a pre-teenager again looking into the side mirror. His body had lost its mature teenhood and gangly look.